Welcome back to another session of Elder Scrolls Online. Last time we have created a character, a Dark Elf Templar, and we have finished the tutorial, and now let's start doing our first quests.
Forgive me, Outlander, but I have enough to deal with. I'm just a simple tribunal priest, and the trouble at the ancestral tomb was too much for even our buoyant armiger to deal with. I have failed Lord Vivec, and left a colleague alone at the tomb.
What happened there?
Lord Vivec sent the three of us to seek guidance at the Andrano ancestral tomb. We were attacked when we got there, and our guard was seriously hurt. I barely got her to safety, but we failed to complete the mission Lord Vivec bestowed upon us.
Three of you? You mentioned another priest.
Canon Levoul. He remained behind after we retreated from the tomb. I know he wants to get back inside and ask Lord Vivec's questions, but there's no way he can get past the Daedra, or ask the questions on his own. May the three grant him wisdom.
I can go to the tomb.
Kaiser, what's wrong? Someone help!
By the three! First a wounded armiger, now this!
By dawn and dusk, evil creeps through the shadows of my beloved Vardenfell. But an Outlander arrives to aid my people, just as I have foreseen.
Those words, what do they mean?
What happened?
Merciful Azura, the Mother Soul spoke through you. It's a miracle!
Okay.
Lord Vivec, protect me. That was Azura, the Queen of the Night Sky. And you, she spoke directly to you, Outlander. I'm surprised the Daedric Prince would risk Lord Vivec's wrath to proclaim a prophecy. But she did say you were here to aid us.
Alright, what just happened?
The Daedric Prince Azura possessed that woman and spoke through her. I've heard of such occurrences, of course, but to witness such an event... She said evil creeps through the land. I wonder if it has anything to do with what we saw at the tomb.
Alright, and tell me more about your mission at the tomb.
We sought guidance in a matter that concerns Lord Vivec. I received specific questions to ask while Levoul concentrated on summoning his ancestor. The Daedra ruined those plans when they fell upon Urnsey, and we were forced to flee.
Daedra?
Vile creatures from oblivion. You hear about an odd ghost or a nest of vampires, but never Daedra. Please, if they're still there, they'll rip Canon Levoul apart. He's definitely not a warrior. Just look at what they did to the buoyant armiger.
What's a buoyant armiger?
The buoyant armigers comprise one of the military orders of the Tribunal Temple. They seek to emulate Lord Vivec's deeds through actions and words. Poor Urnsey. Those monsters went straight for her. Her blood flowed like lava from Red Mountain.
Look, I know what Red Mountain is, but I'm forced to ask.
Where are you from? Children learn of Red Mountain before they even taste Flynn. The mountain sits at the center of Vardenfell, periodically rumbling like a sleeping Nyx shaking its leg. Lately, however, it seems to be waking from its long slumber.
Okay. So I should go to the tomb then. So there is a quest marker and we have a map. Yes. What is this? Mix Oaks. Okay.
Lord Vivec down. Those monsters, it's too dangerous. What am I going to do? Did Canon Valasar send you? Oh, she did, didn't she? That means she made it to Seydanin. Vivec be praised. Will you help me complete my mission? It would be sacrilege if I don't enter my family's tomb and make Lord Vivec's inquiries.
I'll help you.
As the saints declare, the tribunal always provides. We'll need to be cautious, however. Daedra invaded the tomb. Makes it hard to talk to one's ancestors while monsters try to eat you. I'll also need your help when we reach the summoning chamber.
What kind of help?
Take this scroll with Lord Vivec's inquiries. While I summon forth my ancestor spirit and concentrate on maintaining the connection, you must ask the questions. He insists we use the exact phrasing. We can go inside when you're ready.
I'm ready.
We're really going to do this. I wish I knew how Daedra got into my family tomb, but I'm sure you can handle them. At least you know they're there. They ambushed poor Armiger Urnsi. Took her completely by surprise. Follow me. I'll open the door.
Alright.
Follow me, but keep an eye out for those Daedra. Careful. The creatures attacked as soon as we entered the Hall of Remembrance.
Okay. So let's see. Daedra hearts. Alright. Another ring. Rawhide belt. Another recipe. Redron carpet.
This used to be such a peaceful place. I came here as a young acolyte to meditate.
Okay, money. Obsidian. More lockpicks. Water. Alright, those are crafting materials, I think. Okay. Scarfin Blood Cleaver. Okay. Crafting motif 7, Khajiit Style. Okay. I will check this later after I will finish this dungeon. Trifling Glyph of Magica. Okay. Alright, this ring is enchanted. I can equip it.
We're nearly there. Then we can summon my ancestor. The summoning chamber. I'll call forth my ancestor, then you can ask Vivec's questions.
Okay.
As
Hasn't my rest been disturbed enough by those filthy Daedra? Why do you summon me, descendant?
My Lord Vivec has inquiries that only you can answer, my lady. My companion will present them with your permission.
The warrior poet? Very well. Ask Vivec's questions. Ask the warrior poet's questions, Outlander.
Lord Vivec asks, the heart of the world, gate to ascension. Should I be filled with apprehension?
Ah, Lord Vivec always had a way with words. Tell him to rest assured. The heart remains safe. I wonder why that concerns him. Ask the remaining questions, as my time here is short.
Lord Vivec asks, has the enemy of old returned, so devious and bold?
An enemy of old, yes. But not the one that Vivec presumes.
Lord Vivec asks, did Sotha Seal in his unending crusade know our divinity would shrivel and fade?
Sotha Seal imagined multiple scenarios and contemplated endless solutions. He even experimented with his divinity, drawing energy to study before returning it. Loss will come, he foresaw, but not until the collapse of the temple. Now, back to sleep.
Alright.
I hope that's what Lord Vivec needed. Let's talk outside.
More reagents. Gauntlets. My inventory is full, okay. So 850, 898. Alright. Level 2. I don't need it. Those are iron, okay. More lockpicks. Helmet. It's iron. I don't want iron.
Thank you for helping me complete my task. Now, I need to return to Vivec City. Have you been there? It's amazing. Ziggurats rising out of the water, the moonlit hanging in the sky above. You should meet me there so I can introduce you to Lord Vivec.
Did you understand what your ancestor told us?
Just between us, I understood neither the questions asked nor the answers received. Not that I expected you. Some things aren't meant for mortal minds. That's another reason for you to come to Vivec City, to help me explain what my ancestors said.
I can help recount what happens here.
Excellent. I just need to make a quick stop in Saint-Denis to check on my original traveling companions. When you get to Vivec City, head right to the palace and I'll meet you there. I know that Lord Vivec will want to reward you for assisting me.
Okay, I'll meet you in Vivec City.
I'll be along shortly. When you get to Vivec City, head directly for Lord Vivec's palace. Once there, I'll make introductions and we can tell the warrior poet everything we've learned.
You said I could ask you more about the tribunal after we finished your mission.
Of course. As I said, the tribunal consists of our 3 living gods, Vivec, Almalexia, and Sothasil. They lead us in spiritual matters and rule over Dunmer society as god monarchs of the Dark Elves. I serve Vivec, but honor the entire tribunal.
I know this already. I won't ask more. What is this? Amaya Lake Lodge. It's look like a player housing, right? No. So let's see. I have looted some crafting motif, I suppose. Where was it? Yes, crafting motif 7, Khajiit Style. Being notes by Dr. Alfidia Lupus for a series of pamphlets on the major cultural styles of Tamriel. Dr. Lupus was imperial ethnographer for potentate Severian Chorak from 2nd era 418 to 431. When I went to the professor's townhouse this morning, my first priority was to apologize to Divide, but Safe Ish told me he was out. He would gone somewhere from the portal chamber, using an incantation and leaving nothing behind but a burned smell. Onward, I told myself, work will take your mind off it, so I went looking for Moraine. I found the old dear at breakfast, just finishing his sweet roll and chow. When I entered the kitchen, he nearly knocked over his mug in his haste to stand up and bow. I told him I wanted to make some notes on the Khajiit and asked him if he knew any of the catfolk, as I did not. He said he knew exactly the person I needed and would be delighted to help me, since that irascible Telvanni had taken the day off. I had often passed the seasonal camp of the Pandari peddlers outside of Market Gate, but had never gone in, residual caution from my father's warnings keeping me out, I suppose, as well as the pungent scent. Besides, I have always been a dog person. But Moraine plunged right in without hesitation and led me to a pavilion adorned with colorful player flags. I followed Moraine into the tent where he introduced me to Madame Shizai Yo, from whom he said was a Khajiiti sorceress devoted to Azura and Margus. So, sitting in lotus position, she bowed politely. The catfolk are Lissam gestured to a pair of seat cushions and asked how this one could be of service. We had a long and lovely chat. There are superficial similarities between the motifs and designs of the Khajiit and the Red Guards, perhaps because they both inhabit hot, arid environments, but where the Red Guards favor long, flowing curves, the Cat folk are devoted to circular and crescentiform moonshapers. The shapers of Maser and Secunda in all their phases appear everywhere on Khajiiti clothing and ornaments. The falcate sliver of the Sarsen moon also brings to mind the Khajiiti claws that spring from pads in their skin, in their hands and feet, a subtle but ever-present threat to softer folk. Shizahi Yo made us some tea, sticky sweet like all Khajiiti food and drink, then asked to see the leaves in the bottom of my cup. She stirred them with her pinky claw and said now she saw the object of my concern, I would let my fear cloud my longing and darken my heart. I blurted something about how Divide had tried to kiss me, and Morian dropped his cup, spattering poor Shizahi. I thought he was going to explode in rage, but instead this sad look came over him, and then he began pouring out his heart about his feelings for me. It was so sweet of him. I was really quite moved. The Khajiit mage made a discreet exit, and we stayed on her cushions talking for what seemed like hours. Alright. I also got 2 one-handed swords, so I could finally check what the dual wielding skill is about. What is this? Collections. The collections menu is home to all of your account's collections and downloadable content packs. Collections include variable costumes, non-combat pets and mounts. Whenever you obtain a new collection, it can be found and set as active within this menu. Okay. Different styles, okay. Okay. Dual wheels. So let me check. So what does this do? Flurry. Flatten enemy with steel, battering them with 5 consecutive attacks that each deal damage. The final hit deals 300% more damage. Okay. Twin slashes. Slice an enemy with both weapons and to cause deep lacerations, dealing physical damage and with each weapon and causing them to bleed. Alright. Whirlwind. Launch yourself into a little spin, dealing damage. Okay. Envelop yourself in a protective cloak of razors, gaining major evasion, reducing damage from area attacks. Okay. Interesting. So I saw a troll somewhere. Yeah, like him. Alright, what is this? Light armor boots. Okay. So I think I should stick to a two-handed, at least for now. So let's go to Vivec. I also see multiple new quests. Housing brochure, seeking tenant. Are you an adventurer of good reputation? Have low to moderate homicidal tendencies? Looking for a cozy home to call your own, but too low on funds to afford one? How would you like a free inn room? That's right, completely free, no catch. Just seek out Philande de Mayor at your local inn for more information. Alright. What is this? Siltstrider station. Why brave the dangers of the open road or pay the high costs of an unsettling sea voyage when you can travel overland in safety and comfort aboard a friendly Siltstrider? Why ride a caravan of questionable virtue when the Red Mountain Company Express Siltstrider service is available at a fraction of the cost? Visit any of 4 of our Siltstrider stations located conveniently in towns throughout Vardenfell and connect to destinations far and near. Want to leave the hustle of Vivec city behind? Travel to Balmora and see the canals, or visit the plantations of Suran. Stuck in the outskirts of Gnisis? It's just a short trip via the Caravaner Tower outside town and you can reach Telmora before dinner. The Red Mountain Company Express Siltstrider service located at Caravaner Towers all across Vardenfell can get you where you need to go. Remember, when you climb aboard a Siltstrider, your destination is just a hop, skip and a jump away. Okay. Adventurers wanted. Due to the volume of requests for aid from our local loyal citizens, system of brokering jobs between those in need and those willing to help has been established. See Arnold Reno in the Hall of Justice for more information. Okay. What did I miss? Is there Fighters Guild? Ready for adventure? The Fighters Guild is looking for strong hearts and stout arms to combat the Daedric threat. Seek out ACSR in the St. Delian Canton today. Alright. What is this? Caravaner Tower.
A fellow Dark Elf. So good to see you. If I had to deal with one more ignorant noir from who knows where, I would have screamed. What can I help you with today, Fla?
No, I don't want to travel right now. So this is a way shrine? Okay. Mages Guild. Do you hunger for knowledge? The Mages Guild seeks only the most talented, smartest and skilled for its ranks. Do you have what it takes? Seek out Kurinur at the Vivec City Guild Hall in St. Delian Canton. Alright. Yeah, let's stick to the Vivec quest first. Could also sprint, right? Is this another way shrine?
Praise Vivec!
This is the person who helped me at the tomb, my lord.
Lord Vivec, we don't need the help of this Outlander.
Oh hush, Archcannon Tarvis. Outlanders have their usefulness, and this one intrigues me.
As you say. I'll be in my office if you need me.
So
Step forward, friend of Lavul, and let us speak. Canon Level says you helped him in his mission. As I have written, the one who helps my ally becomes my friend. Despite the Archcannon's concerns, I greet you with sincerity and pose a simple question. Will you assist us further, Outlander?
what kind of help do you need?
I have ordinators and armigers at my disposal. Vast armies of followers and dedicated priests. What I don't have, however, is a fresh perspective. Will you set aside your personal goals for a time and become the eyes and ears of a god?
Of course, Lord Vivec, I can provide a fresh perspective.
Good. I need assistance to investigate a strange phenomenon that the Ancestor confirmed may indeed be a problem. We'll start with a simple divination ritual. Archcannon Tarvis can tell you what we need to delve into this mystery.
I don't think Archcannon Taurus wants my help.
The situation that troubles me has taken a toll on my Archcannon, but he's a faithful servant. Tarvis will do as I say, and I say we need your assistance. Find the Archcannon in his office, and he'll tell you how to proceed.
Okay. So where is his office? Okay. Cabinet. Provisioning. More crafting materials. Unmoving Ebonheart. Members of the Tribunal, Priesthood and House Hlalo engineers. During a recent visit to the mainland, Lord Vivec became enthralled with the quaint and picturesque city of Ebonheart in Stone Falls, on the northern coast of Morrowind. He spent an inordinate amount of time within the confines of the city, wandering the streets and carefully examining all of the buildings and houses located therein. Truth to be told, the visit put us behind schedule and made me extremely anxious about upholding the rest of our commitments before we had to return to Vardenfell. After remaining quietly at the worried poet's side, as he tenaciously studied every cobblestone and patch of thatch, filling his notebook with every notion and observation, the living god finally turned to me. Archcannon, Lord Vivec said, I am fascinated by this place. We must have one in Vardenfell. We must, my lord? I asked, trying to ascertain where the living god was going with this line of reasoning. I think that spot to the south of my city, Lord Vivec continued. Yes, that will be the perfect place to build my new Ebonheart. Build, my lord? I asked, still somewhat unsure what was being asked of me. Build, move, whatever you think is best, Lord Vivec said. Have the cannons and Hlalo's engineers begin drawing up plans immediately. I can't wait to begin a new project. So there you have it, from the lips of our Lord to your ears, through the medium of this letter. I look forward to reviewing your ideas in, let us say, 3 months time. In Lord Vivec's name, Archcannon Taurus. Okay. What is this desk? I have those. Pattern Hlalo mat. My inventory is full, okay. I can sell this. Alright, let's talk.
Outlander. Lord Vivec trusts too much to put his faith in one such as you, but who am I to question my god? I suppose he sent you to me so I could put you to work? Did he say which task he wants us to accomplish first?
Lord Vivec said he needed to perform a divination ritual.
Ah, yes. We do need to perform a ritual to reveal the nature of the phenomenon that vexes Lord Vivec. Now listen closely. I hate to repeat myself.
Come on.
Despite my objections, Vivec believes you were sent to help, so I'll do my best to assist you. Go to the ziggurat that's still under construction and tell the Overseer that Lord Vivec requires the Blessing Stone. Then bring it to me in the palace.
I'll go to the unfinished ziggurat, get the Blessing Stone, and meet you at Vivec's palace.
You receive a simple errand in the service of Lord Vivec, and countless questions form unbidden in your mind. Very well. Go ahead. Ask your questions. It's not like I'm the busy Archcannon of a living god or anything.
What's a Blessing Stone?
Ah, the ignorance of Outlanders. How refreshing. The Blessing Stones serve as repositories for small amounts of Lord Vivec's power. They allow his favor to permeate sanctified locations. We need such a stone to power the divination ritual.
Can Vivec perform the ritual without the Blessing Stone?
If you haven't guessed yet, the phenomenon interferes with Lord Vivec's power in unusual ways. It will be safer for everyone if I perform the ritual by using the Blessing Stone instead of drawing on my Lord's personal store of energy.
What does Lord Vivec hope to learn from the divination ritual?
Even if I told you, you wouldn't comprehend it. Lord Vivec's senses eclipse those of mere mortals. Suffice it to say, he feels a disturbance in the flow of energy throughout Vardenfell. He seeks to discover the source of that disturbance.
Vivec mentioned Red Mountain and Daedra. Do you think there is a connection?
Lord Vivec sees signs and portents everywhere. It's the poet at his core. I tend to be much more pragmatic. Sometimes a volcano is simply a volcano, and not a harbinger of doom. As for the Daedra, I have no idea. Perhaps the summoning got out of hand.
Okay. Very well. The question is it possible for me to teleport to this other way shrine? Outlaws Refuge, Banker. Alright. General Goods Merchants. What is this? Armorer. Fence. I want to sell first. So let's go in. Clothing station, leather worker. Feed station. So can I sell you something?
Lord Vivec visited my shop just the other day. Charming fellow, very polite. Even asked how I liked his fair city. But did he spend any gold? No, not even a few pieces for a hunk of bread or a block of cheese. I do hope you're better than that.
What if I sell you something? Here like this. Those are worthless, right? I see, okay. Unfortunately. I will sell this. Ash, sell to a merchant for gold. Okay. Very good.
I'm down on my luck.
What?
I could also talk to some people here. Left click to recall. So it's just okay. So it's upstairs or what?
Red mountains about to burst. Drink all your cares away. Who wants to die with a thirst? Die with a thirst. A pack of fiery flame, mix the smoke and ash. Drain the flask of whiskey.
Let's talk.
Welcome to the Guild Hall, Knowledge Seeker. What brings you here today?
What can you tell me about the Mages Guild?
We're book hunters of a sort. We seek out new information, capture it in our libraries, and make copies for distribution across Tamriel. The Guild doesn't care about battlefields or boundaries, just knowledge and the acquisition of new tomes.
What do I get in return?
We provide training in unique spells and abilities only available to members. And from time to time, projects crop up for those with an adventuresome spirit. You may end up working with the Guildmaster himself.
Alright. You mentioned Guildmaster?
Banus Galarian, one of the founding members of this august body, still holds the proud title of Guildmaster, overseeing every guild hall in Tamriel. He works with other ranking members, such as Tellinger, the Artificer, to ensure our future success.
Alright. What about you? You are not affiliated with Aldmeri Dominion?
We are neutral in the war between the three alliances, When we're on guild business, we kneel to no king or queen. That's why you'll see members of every race in our halls.
Alright, I'm ready to join.
Excellent. You are now a student of the Mages Guild. Every book you find will now earn you reputation in the guild.
Okay. Bookshelf. Wardenfell Flora and Fauna by Telendra Sildref, Telvanni naturalist. The Wardenfell landscape undergoes a constant cycle of death and rebirth. Red mountains, lava flows, eruptions and ashfall cause dieback in the deciduous woodlands and mushroom jungles. Violent upheaval alters the landscape and buries or exposes the fallen ruins of ancient civilizations. But the island expands as lava hardens, and new plants and fungi emerge from the cooling ashes among the formations of igneous rock. Plant life flourishes in the rich soil, fertilized by volcanic activity, and so Wardenfell serves as a home to a diverse set of habitats and environments. Fungi quickly absorb rich nutrients from the volcanic soil and grow to enormous proportions and dominate the landscape. The large inkcap mushrooms along the bitter coast thrive on the detritus of decaying swamp life, while smaller fungus varieties cover the rocks, trees, and even some animals such as the fungus-encrusted shroom beetle. Adorable. Balmora in the southwest of our inland from the bitter coast is still forested, though ash from Red Mountain eruptions threatens to denude the slopes. South Barren, the ashlands host a remarkable number of species. Ash hoppers skitter through the dry ash dunes, and giant xylaria fungi extend their tendrils into the sky. Travelers beware! Hungry reptilian cliff striders lurk atop the cracks. Fetcher flies build their hives where they can tap volcanic heat to gestate their eggs. When they hatch, the queen taps a source of magma to animate the nest, and it transforms into a walking hive column that relocates the swarm to new surroundings. Nyx oxen roam the grazelands in the northeastern part of the island, and though generally considered to be mild-mannered, they will not hesitate to defend their territory. Two-legged vertworks romp through the grasses and feed on small bugs. Some people keep these delightful creatures as pets, despite their terrible smell. Ancestral tombs dot the landscape, and powerful daedra known as hunger have recently been seen within. The largest mushrooms in Morrowind appear in Zephyrbale Bay. This majestic species is cultivated by Telvanni wizards and take a wizard's lifetime, 1,000 years to grow. These fungus forests have special ecology of their own, but that's a subject of another book. Okay.
Good to see you back again, Adept. The guild is stronger with you at our side.
What do I get for being a part of the guild again?
We provide training in unique spells and abilities only available to members. And from time to time, projects crop up for those with an adventuresome spirit. You may end up working with the guildmaster himself.
I know this. Alright, what about you?
Don't you just love Vardenfell? You must agree that there's nowhere else in the world quite like it. I'm just glad the guildmaster decided to send me here. The experience has been exhilarating, to say the least.
Store Mystic. So it's like an... so I could buy something, like Soul Gem. I see. Okay. What about this skill tree? Mage's Guild. Mage Light. Summon a mode of Mage Light, revealing stealthed and invisible enemies around you. Alright. Bind an enemy with chaotic magic, dealing. Alright. Inscribe a rune of cosmic fire on the earth, which takes 2 seconds to arm and lasts for 30 seconds. I see. Allows you to persuade NPCs in conversation. Alright. Laughing. Right. Alchemy station. Alchemy. Select a solvent and 2 different reagents to craft a potion or potions. Press R to start, press X to clear your selections. Remember, each reagent has 4 traits. You can consume a reagent from your inventory to learn its first trait. Match reagents with similar traits to create potions. Okay. So I will add this. And then I have this. So this is a solvent, alright. Those are solvents, I see. And that one is a Nirnroot. And I don't have anything else, or what? Alright, I don't have any more reagents.
How the Dark Elves can behave like they haven't a care in the world is beyond my comprehension. There's a damn volcano about to explode out there, not to mention a giant chunk of rock floating above our heads. How is any of that natural?
You will never understand this. Another bookshelf. Steering, okay.
Excellent. I know we'll all be drawing blades together soon enough. Now, what can I tell you?
You have mentioned a singular purpose.
Right. Our new guildmaster is an Argonian, sees all colors. She has us all hunting down the Daedra and their damned anchors. You might have seen them. Enormous chains, plagues of Daedra boil out to lay waste to the countryside. Hard fights.
So what do I get in return?
There's a good question. We train our members in special techniques, and the higher-ups are always looking for motivated members to help with special projects. You never know, you might be the next Yofnir.
Right, what happened to the old guildmaster?
Guildmaster Yofnir passed away recently, very suddenly. I always thought he'd die with a blade in his hand. But he passed away in his sleep, called to Sovngarde by his ancestors. We all miss him, but Colors has proven to be a very able leader.
Alright, I'm ready to join.
Then let me be the first to officially welcome you as an associate of the Fighters Guild. Get out there and take the fight to the Daedra.
Medium armor, alright, increased to 6. Defended. Skill line gain, fighter skilled.
Buying, selling, trading. I've a fine selection to choose from.
Ah, it's my comrade in arms. Welcome back to the
So what do I get for being a part of the guild?
There's a good question. We train our members in special techniques.
Okay, I have heard this already. Those are Dark Anchor Pinion. Pinion detached from its anchor, now floating freely in the Mundus. Furnishing, it's just a furnishing thing, okay. I cannot take those, looks like. Alright.
Can I help you?
A Guide to Liturgical Vestments by High Ordinator Vermetis. An ordinator's every action must reflect the divinity of the tribunal. Every thought, word, and gesture, no matter how trivial, must glorify the free. Our appearance, too, must bring honor to the Almsivi. Herein you shall find a guide to liturgical vestment. At the beginning of the vesting, an ordinator must wash herself thoroughly using mineral water from one of the Red Mountain's sacred hot springs and a volcanic premise. This act has profound spiritual significance. In washing the body, the ordinator also washes the soul, removing residual sin and any nagging doubts that might interfere with the merciless application of tribunal law. Once the washing is complete, the proper vesting can begin. The ordinator begins with the triangular linen small clothes, dyed a deep blue and fastened with brass pins. The refinf is further secured by the ernef, the golden underbelt, which is also secured using brass pins. Daughters of Almsivi are also permitted to wear the aurathif, a second garment tailored to support the breasts. With the refif and aurathif secured, the ordinator is free to move on to the Lenator or the second garment. This long shirt must be washed in sacred mineral water before the sun rises and pressed thrice over a hot stone. When donning the Lenator, the ordinator must also recite the litany of three virtues. If the ordinator completes the litany before the shirt is fully donned, they are obliged to repeat the litany twice more before moving on to the next step of the vesting. The ordinator's pants or felasani must also be washed and thrice pressed before wearing. Ordinators should put on these trousers starting with the left foot and must fasten them using a blue rope-like belt called a nosa. The slippers must likewise be worn starting with the left foot and laced with gold ribbon. Finally, the ordinator must drape a crimson wool stole or lasso about the neck and shoulders thrice and fasten it with a triangular golden reliquary clasp, a neleviso. This ends the first vesting, or Ilanar Frolani, and prepares the ordinator for armor suiting. Before the holy armor can be donned, the ordinator must recite the 46 canticles of supplication and appeal to Saint Nerevar, the captain, patron of warriors and defender of Dunbury society, for protection. After receiving Nerevar's blessing, the ordinator begins armor inspection. The armor of Triune faith must be free of any nicks, dents, stains, corrosion, or other aesthetic imperfections. Even minor blemishes are affronts to Almsivi divine persons. Ordinators found wearing imperfect armor shall be subject to severe sanction. The polish should be thorough and uniform, but not garish. The chitinous undervest must be rubbed with an oiled cloth and flexed to prevent aging and distress. Furthermore, the ordinator should oil all joints, and treat all leather with a firm brushing and a liberal application of Kwama wax armor dressing. At this point, the ordinator should signal initiate to prepare for armor fitting. The initiate begins with the sabatons and greaves, starting with the left, while reciting a prayer to Saint Realm's patron of pilgrims. Once this devotional is complete, the initiate proceeds to the kisses, reciting another prayer to Saint Mary's, patron of laborers. At this point, the ordinator must anoint the breastplate with sacred mineral oil and recite another prayer of supplication to bless Saint Nerevar before handing it over to the initiate. After fastening the cuirass, the initiate moves on to the rear braces and cutters, reciting another devotional to Saint Arlor the Penitent. After securing and lacing the pauldrons, the initiate should glove the ordinator, starting with the left gauntlet, all the while reciting a prayer to Saint Dalin the Wise. Finally, the initiate must drape the blue prayer stole or rifles over the warrior's shoulders, reciting a final prayer to Saint Thelms the Bold. This accomplished, the assistant is permitted to retreat to the chapel for post-vesting prayer. The final armor preparations are left to the ordinator herself. Using the left hand, the ordinator must tuck a sprig of bitter green beneath her right pauldron. Using the right hand, the ordinator must trace the sign of the tribunal on her chest, gnashing her teeth and hissing thrice at each point of the tribune to summon up the wrath of the tribunal. The tinder of faith thus kindled, the ordinator anoints the golden mask of devotion with mineral oil, presses her forehead to the helm to likewise anoint herself, then dons the helm. Ordinators may now arm themselves with any weapon so long as it is thoroughly cleaned and thrice blessed before use. At this point, any action of the ordinator is protected by divine mandate. So long as she wears the mask, the ordinator is considered a faultless of the free and is authorized to commit any marital action deemed necessary to protect the true faith. Hands of Almalexia and other specialized members of the order may have additional vestments to wear, but any servant of the free thus vested is considered a full ordinator. Keep to this guide, stay earnest in your prayers, and you will bring not but glory to Almsivi. Victory for the free. Alright. Interesting.
Only the finest merchandise.
Armor.
Don't take this wrong.
What do you have? Iron armor. Armsmith.
The Fighters Guild.
Alright, you have weapons. Woodworker.
Taste like these.
Should I go down?
Another adventurer looking for work?
I saw a notice that you are in need of help.
Did you? Well, that's why it was posted. It's simple. Citizens tell us what they need, and we arrange for the job to be completed. You will be able to meet with the client before starting the task. They'll also have your reward, not us.
How do I receive jobs?
Belleru Omeril and her brother Traylan will handle your assignments. Check in with them frequently to see if they have a job for you. They'll inform you what you need to accomplish and who made the request.
Tell me about the Belleru Omeril's requests.
Belleru's requests may appear straightforward, but many adventurers find them difficult to accomplish. The assortment of enemies she'll ask you to face are all powerful, and I would recommend gathering allies before heading out.
Okay, what about the Traylan Omerils?
Traylan handles requests which the temple has special interests in. His tasks require more subtlety, but they are by no means easy. Make sure to listen to his explanations carefully. It's also a good idea to speak to the clients beforehand.
Okay. I am interested in taking a job.
I would hope. You came to us, after all. Traylan and Belleru are just down the hall. They should already have assignments for you. Speak to either of them to get started.
Alright. What is here? Coordinators, a comprehensive guide. By Tavus, Archcannon of Vivec. Holy gods and warrior priests, the ordinators dedicate themselves to serving the tribunal temple and the living gods, worshipped the Rhine. Organized into 4 specific orders, the ordinators extend the will of the tribunal throughout Morrowind and are characterized by their distinctive gold armor and face masks. Used as a protective covering, their expressionless face masks hide the identity of the god inside and also exude an intimidating aura that helps add an air of mystery and menace to the ordinators. The ordinators are divided into 4 orders that determine their mandates throughout tribunal territory. The Order of the Watch, the Order of Doctrine and Ordination, the Order of Inquisition, and the Order of War. The Order of Watch provides protection for the tribunal's temples and shrines, as well as stationing guards at tribunal towns and cities, including Vivec City. In addition to policing tribunal settlements and guarding tribunal holy sites, ordinators of the Watch enforce temple law. The ordinators are most visible of all the orders, interacting with the populace on a regular basis. Militant scholars comprise the Order of Doctrine and Ordination, vigorously studying the words of the living gods and supporting the will of the tribunal. They serve as arbiters of the reigning doctrine and oppose false and dangerous views, such as those held by the Neverwinter prophecies and other dissident teachings. The Order of Inquisition seeks out and actively suppresses heresy among temple priests and Dark Elf citizens alike, serving as both an investigative body and judge and executor. Members of this order place heretics on trial and then deal out whatever punishment is deemed appropriate for the crime against the tribunal. Finally, the Order of War battles the enemies of the temple in all its forms, including hostile cults and Daedra worshippers operating in Dunmer territory. The Holy Soldiers are among the finest, most dedicated and best trained warriors in all Morrowind, blessed by the tribunal itself and charged with defending its will. I suppose there is another arm of the Ordinators, through though there are so few of them that they don't qualify as an order unto themselves. Selected personally from among the most skilled warriors in the Tribunal Temple to serve as Almalexia's elite agents in the world. The hands of Almalexia, the living goddess herself, fortifies them with divine magic and enchants their fearsome armor and weapons. House Indorial, always orthodox and strident supporters of the Tribunal Temple, provides the majority of the Dark Elves that take up the armor of the Ordinators. In fact, the house's influence can be seen in the distinctive style of the Ordinator armor, and its sons and daughters proudly serve the Tribunal with dedication and reverence. Of course, the Ordinators don't have monopoly on service to the living gods. Take, for example, Lord Vivec's buoyant armigers. I shall cover them in a subsequent volume. Okay. So what about you?
Citizens hand in their request, I tell you what I know, and you take care of it. The person with the problem is usually more than willing to talk your ear off about it. The more people you can convince to help you with the job, the better.
What do you have?
Avulan Andromo is looking for someone to help him put some ancient spirits to rest at the Salothan tomb. You up for it?
Yeah, what do you need to do?
Kill them. Again. They seem to think they're still in some old battle. Their last, I'd wager. And they attack anyone who approaches. Andromo may know more. He's been studying the tomb for some time now.
Alright. What about you?
Current events have left the temple in need of additional resources. The requests I handle are citizens whose interests best align with the goals of the temple. You'll work with these individuals to help better Vardenfell. Are you interested? Tax collectors are occasionally robbed making their rounds, but until recently the assessment offices were rarely targeted. There has been a rash of heists where thieves made off with both the gold and, strangely, the tax records as well.
Do you have any leads?
Alvace Droth, the functionary investigating these thefts, believes the thieves have established themselves in Pulk. Go retrieve the stolen taxes and records. This city needs those monies. Alvace can be found here in Vivec, if you need more to go on.
Alright, I will retrieve your stolen taxes. So this quest looks like a daily quest. Alright, Elvis Trough.
I hate the city. So much damned noise. How am I supposed to get any writing done with people like you coming and going at all hours?
I'm here about the job you posted.
I thought the matter fairly straightforward. Spirits risen, terrorizing decent living folk with important research to finish. I don't care if it is their tomb. Get rid of them.
So what can I expect to face?
I didn't stop to take a census as I was fleeing for my life. Suffice to say that the wraiths and skeletons will be the least of your problems. Those wretched Salathons have a veritable army haunting the place.
Why so interested in a haunted tomb?
The entire Salathon lineage died out in a monumental battle, yet they are barely a footnote in history. One does not secure a coveted historian role in a temple by ambling along well-trod ground. I must uncover their lost past.
Okay. Aren't the spirits of historic significance as well?
These aren't the benevolent ancestor spirits you may have heard of, Outlander. They're mad, or cursed, or both. I would love to hear of their lives in their own words, but that's proven impossible. They must go.
Okay. And I have to talk to Alvestroff with this.
Six are the walking ways, enigma, enemy teachers, begat by precursor gods. Come we now, their creatures, embody splendor in your name, and wisdom in your features. By the sword I mean the night, by the word I mean the dead, by the sword I mean a sigh, by the word I mean the end. Six are the guardians, 3, 4, and 3 incarnate, here to test your hero's ways and show that you can learn it. The truest works we shall behold are those made by the silent. By the sword I mean the night, by the word I mean the dead, by the sword I mean a sigh, by the word I mean the end. By the sword I mean the night, by the word I mean the dead, by the sword I mean a sigh, by the word I mean the end.
Very good. So let's talk.
Short by more than a third. Someone is going to pay. That goes without question. But who? Oh, sorry. I'm a bit preoccupied. Did you need something?
I was told you have information about the stolen taxes.
Oh, so you're going after them? That's great. That's great! Yes, anything I can do to help you. What do you want to know?
Stolen taxes I understand, but why the records?
Does seem odd, doesn't it? The first time, I thought it was an attempt to cover up fraud. But now I have another theory. I think the thieves are probing our records for wealthy marks. This could be the start of a rash of high-profile robberies.
What kind of resistance can I expect?
I don't have much in the way of specifics, but the fact that the tax offices were raided in several regions in a relatively short period of time, I'd say they have numbers.
Where should I start looking?
Didn't they say? Why does no one read my reports? Pulk. I believe the thieves are hiding out in Pulk.
What makes you so certain about that's where they are?
Educated guess, mostly. It's an ideal location for the band of outlaws to hole up that's convenient to the regions that were robbed. What cinched it for me, though, was a witness who identified their leader as Brolsa Inlador. She's wanted in Zainab.
Okay. So, who am I supposed to talk to now?
Enemy teachers, begat by precursor gods, come we now their creatures, embodied and moans, it tosses and turns, pray it won't wait, and then without warning the ground starts to shake. As the world ends, the ground starts to shake. So heft a flask and say a prayer, Red Mountain's about to explode. Have a drink.
You have a look about you. Some sort of quality that's rare to find. And trust me, I'm never wrong about these sort of things. Can I interest you in a room at the local inn? Actually, wait, that came out wrong.
A room is a local inn?
Look, empty rooms are just bad for business. The upkeep alone costs me more than the place is worth. But I think we can come to a sort of arrangement. And not the sort of arrangement that involves a few drinks, let me be clear about that.
What sort of arrangement?
I need someone to improve the reputation of my properties. A hero type who people look up to. And I have a feeling about you. You've done something great and are probably on the way to do something greater. Seems like we can help each other here.
Okay, I'm interested. What are the details?
Yeah, all right. Details. I can see how this might be a bit sketchy, but don't worry. The inn room is well kept, conveniently located. I know you adventuring types wanting a home in every town. This would be a nice addition to your holdings.
There has to be a catch. What is it?
No catch. I just need someone to freshen up my image. And my gut tells me you're the one to do that. As long as you're not planning on turning it into a skooma den or an outlaw's refuge, the room is all yours.
So, within legal reason, I can do whatever I want in this place?
Oh, sure. You can set up some crafting stations, house your pets, display any treasures or trophies you've come upon in your adventures. Hey, you can even set up a target dummy to practice combat. Just don't demolish the place and we're good.
Alright, I accept your offer.
Excellent. You won't regret this decision, I swear. Here's the deed and key to the room. Took me a while, but I finally was able to take them back from the last tenant. Required more time in the sewers than I had hoped for, but hey, that's business.
Okay.
Hope the room is to your liking. With your reputation, I'm sure you shouldn't have any trouble with the neighbors. If you do, remember death threats are not the way to go. Had a spot of trouble when my last tenant started sending those out.
Anything else I should keep in mind?
Nope, just make yourself at home. Spruce things up a bit. Honestly, I can't wait to see how you arrange the place. Hopefully you'll end up with a few less Daedric shrines than another former tenant of mine. Like 0. 0's a good number.
I don't worship Daedra.
Oh, what a relief. I can't tell you how hard it is to wash bloodstains off of cobble floors. But that's not even the worst of it. I've had tenants cram their rooms with the wildest things. Mounts, foliage, assistants. I mean, it's an inn room.
Do you own the place?
I own this and several other properties throughout Tamriel. It pays to diversify. Of course, that means I've got to look out for a variety of troubles, too. But hey, no one ever said the real estate business was easy.
Okay. Home access. To access your new home, open your collections with U, navigate the housing tab and select travel to the house. Alright. Alright, so this looks like an empty room. Alright. Storage coffer. So I can store my stuff here, basically. I see, okay. Is this housing features? So can I deposit some of this stuff? Okay.
Words you hear.
So what else can I do here? I see there is a crafting station and a banker. So it's foundations embrace. Okay.
This project has been nothing but one disaster after another. How am I expected to get this ziggurat built on time when things constantly go wrong? Don't mind me.
I'm just having one of those days.
Archcannon Jarvis sent me. I need to borrow your blessing stone.
Our blessing stone? Do you know what happens if we give up our blessing stone? Well, neither do I, but I'm sure it won't put us back on schedule or end our string of disasters. I'm not one to disagree with the Archcannon, but that's a terrible idea.
Lord Vivec needs the blessing stone to perform a ritual.
Lord Vivec? Well, why didn't you say so? But I'll need your help before I can turn over the blessing stone. The passage that leads to the consecration chamber collapsed, trapping some of my workers. If you can clear the way, you can borrow the stone.
Okay, I'll clear the passage and free your workers on my way to retrieve the stone.
I appreciate the help. Just remember that you're only borrowing the stone. It needs to be back in the consecration chamber before the next shift, or we'll never get this ziggurat constructed in time.
Okay. Is it so?
I thought I was gonna die under there. Oh, thanks for saving me.
How do you get up there?
Thank you. I'll go tell the Overseer what you did for me.
Now I can return back, right? Cost to recall 41 golds. Okay. That's right.
Praise Vivec!
The Outlander returns. I understand there was trouble at the construction site, but you were able to save a few of the workers. Lord Vivec always draws the straightest arrow from the quiver. Praise the Tribunal. Did you bring the Blessing Stone?
Yes, I have the blessing stone. So I have to start the ritual.
Hear the words of the warrior poet, and reveal the source of Lord Vivec's distress. An Ashlander? A clockwork mage? A Daedric cultist? Something interfered with the ritual, my lord. But we may have learned something. Excuse me while I compare the results to our previous research. Between the cryptic warnings of the ancestor spirit and the unexpected result of the divination ritual,
I fear there may be more astir than I imagined. We solved the greatest mysteries by accident, I suspect. I should write that down.
Something went wrong during the ritual. Did you learn what you had hoped?
We learn from every action we take. Failure or success, each result teaches us something, at least in the larger sense. To be more specific, no, not as much as I hoped.
But there were images.
Images that suggest avenues to investigate, riddles to solve. Let me tell you a secret, Outlander. It concerns a living god, an energy that fades like daylight as dusk spreads across the land.
I don't understand, Lord Vivec.
Listen well, and speak not a word. My divine energy, it drains away. Whether from illness or foul malady, I know not. You must travel the land and seek answers on my behalf. But first, gratitude before service, as I have written. So thank you.
You give me a cannon staff. I don't want a staff, but alright.
The ritual confirmed my worst fears. Divine energy flows out of me for no reason that I can discern. I felt the power imbued within my blessing stone get wrenched away as soon as you added it to the ritual. I couldn't stop it.
You're losing your divine energy? How is it possible?
To quote my own words as the warrior poet, no lock exists that the determined thief cannot open. Follow the trail of my missing energy, and try to discover the identity of the enemy Levol's ancestor warned us about.
You think an enemy is responsible for your energy loss?
Something drains my energy. Find Archcannon Tarvis in his office, and ask if he gleaned anything useful from the ritual. If not, I know his earlier research indicated new avenues to investigate. Go where he tells you, and learn what you can.
Okay, I'll talk to him.
My divine energy diminishes with every passing moment, but the ritual confirmed my affliction is not natural. I regret that I could not reveal the full nature of these dire circumstances until your trustworthiness had been demonstrated.
I'm not sure Archcannon Tarvis shares your assessment of me.
Yes. While Archcannon Tarvis has always been cautious about ideas and ideologies that didn't originate within the Tribunal. And recently, that prudence has grown 1,000-fold. He's a faithful servant, however, despite his narrow-mindedness.
What do you mean that your divine energy has diminished?
I've always used my power freely, and without detriment. I create the blessing stones, hold the moonlit above the city, and perform 100 miracles a day to benefit my people. I begin to feel the toll this liberal application of divinity costs me.
Do you think you are in danger?
I care little for my own safety, but my people are another matter. Without my power to stop it, the moonlit will crash into the city and kill hundreds, perhaps thousands of innocents. And that would be just the start of Vvardenfell's woes.
You suspect the affliction isn't natural.
At first, I barely noticed the loss of energy. But as I continue to grow weaker, the more it feels like an attack against my person. Besides, the Ancestor Spirit confirmed that an ancient enemy was to blame. We just need to determine who, before...
Before?
Let us not dwell on disasters to come when we have problems enough to deal with in the here and now. Consult with Archcannon Tarvis and discover the source of this attack. Then we can put an end to it and not worry about what might have been.
What does the rest of the tribunal think all about this?
They always chide me about my flagrant displays of divinity. But so far, I am the only one of the living gods whose power is fading. Almalexia hoards her energy and has barricaded her temple against attack. As for Sotha Seal...
What about?
My brother travels. We have not heard from him for quite some time, but I sense that he remains safe and in possession of his full power. Funny. We always wanted to discover the limits of our divinity. Perhaps I will solve that mystery for him.
Okay. So let's talk to Archcannon.
I performed that ritual countless times, and it never exploded in my face before. If I discover that you sabotage the divination... No. I shouldn't take my failure out on you. It's not your fault that things are... difficult.
By difficult you mean Lord Vivec's loss of power.
How do you know about... Lord Vivec told you? Of course he did. It's his... prerogative, I suppose. You must swear to keep this secret, though. There would be panic in the streets if the people believed one of the tribunal was incapacitated.
Lord Vivec said you might need help investigating the source of the problem.
It's true. I'm much better at scholarly pursuits than fieldwork. And the ritual wasn't a total failure. It confirmed 3 locations from my earlier studies. Bolmora, Aldrin, and Barrelzar's tower. I need you to investigate each of these sites.
Okay.
Haven't you left yet? The sites at Balmer, Aldrin, and Barrelzar's tower aren't going to investigate themselves.
Okay. But I would also like to visit this banking station before I leave. It's interesting. This must be banking station.
I could give you a song and dance, but when all is said and done, this is a bank. Either you have need of our services, or you don't.
Your bank stores items for all of your characters to share. Press F to purchase more bank space, press R to deposit or withdraw gold. Okay. Crafting materials stored in your bank are pulled directly to you when crafting. You do not need to carry them to a crafting station. Okay. Okay.
Only the finest wares here.
Woodworking station. Okay. What is this? Enchanting table. Alchemy station, cooking fire, enchanting table, enchanting alchemist. Okay. Blacksmithing station. I need to go there. Alright. Clothing station. To begin clothing. To begin crafting, Clothiers must refine raw materials. Must collect 10 raw materials such as raw jute or leather straps and click them to assign them to the refine slot. Press E to refine or press X to clear your selection. Remember, once you have refined enough raw materials, select creation to craft an item. Okay. Creation. Select type of apparel you wish to craft. Select the material and style. Traits are not required, but you can select any that you have researched. Press R to craft. Remember, you can only craft styles you know, and styles materials are required to craft. Purchase them from any clothier. Right. So those are robes, right? Okay. To this trader. Working station. Okay, those are bows and staffs. Okay. Blacksmithing station. Weapons. Okay. I don't see medium armor thingy. Where is it?
Fine goods at fair prices. Only the finest.
Ah, yes, I see it now. Okay, medium armor. Level 8. Got 10 times rawhide. 10 times jute. This item can be refined into cassiterite, which is used to make ancient orc equipment. Refined. Okay. So now light armor. All right. So I could craft an light armor right now. Only light armor, right? This requires level 8. Okay. So I'm not ready for this right now. So if I lift that way, so I see those quest locations, right? Parizar's Tower, Outrun. What is this? Trial, halls of fabrication. Okay. Okay. Let me check my skills. Blacksmithing, woodworking. Those are fighter skills. Okay. Ability morph variable for 1 skill point. Okay.